The world has changed. Wars are no longer fought on open battlefields. Enemies no longer wear uniforms. Now the deadliest threats grow in the shadows. Powerful criminal empires, terror groups, and secret organizations that move faster than governments can react. Nations collapse without warning. Cities burn overnight. And the line between hero and villain has blurred so much that survival is the only rule left. In this new era, the world doesn't need ordinary soldiers. It needs legends. It needs mercenaries who don't ask questions, who don't follow rules, and who never back down. That's when one name returns from the darkness. Barney Ross. Older now, wiser, scarred by too many wars, but still deadly, still feared, still the last man you call when the mission is impossible. Barney has tried to step away from the chaos, to leave the battlefield behind, but the world won't let him. Because a new global threat has risen, and it's bigger than anything they've ever faced. A mysterious and powerful enemy organization emerges, forming an army of villains, mercenaries, assassins, and warlords. They don't want ransom. They don't want power in one country. They want control of the world. They begin destroying entire operations, wiping out special forces, crushing intelligence networks, and spreading fear like wildfire. Governments send their best units. Those units disappear. Entire missions fail. The enemy is always ahead, always watching, always ready. The world is now standing at the edge of global destruction. And one truth becomes clear. No nation can stop this alone. So Barney makes the hardest decision of his life. He must reunite the old crew. But the battlefield is different now. The enemies are faster. The weapons are smarter. The war is deadlier. And while the Expendables are legends, legends don't last forever. So to win this war, Barney must do something he never wanted to do. He must bring in new blood. He calls back his most ruthless and reliable fighter, Lee Christmas. Jason Statham returns as the razor-sharp warrior, still cold, still brutal, still the close combat king. He doesn't hesitate, doesn't doubt, doesn't ask if this mission is worth it. He only asks one thing: where's the target? And just like that, the Expendables are reborn. But then comes the biggest surprise. A new operative joins the mission, someone nobody expected to see in a war like this. Cristiano Ronaldo. Not as a celebrity, but as a highly trained, elite operative, precision-built, unstoppable, and dangerously fast. A fighter with insane stamina, power, and discipline. He enters as a secret weapon, part of a new generation designed for modern warfare. At first, Barney doesn't trust him, because Barney's world is simple. Either you're built for war, or war destroys you. But Ronaldo proves himself, quickly. Milky Way, the skydrop, the beginning of the war. The mission begins in the sky, high above enemy territory, where the air is cold enough to kill and the clouds cover the earth like darkness itself. The squad's aircraft flies silently over the danger zone. Down below, the enemy base is hidden, protected by heavy defenses, armed patrols, and advanced technology. There is no way in by vehicle, no helicopters, no ground entry. Only one method remains: a stealth jump from the heavens. The door opens, wind screams, and the first operative launches into the night. He free falls through storm clouds like a bullet, arms spread, face locked with focus, not fear. The clouds swallow him. Mist wraps around his body. The darkness hides what awaits below, and that's what makes it terrifying. This isn't a normal jump. This is the kind of jump used only when the enemy is too deadly to face directly. Halo infiltration. A drop so high that radar can't detect them. A drop meant for only the most elite warriors alive. The operative drops deeper, faster, every second closer to death. One wrong move and he's done. If the enemy sees him, he'll be shot out of the sky. But he keeps falling, controlled, disciplined, unstoppable, like someone who was made for this. And then, the clouds begin to break. The land becomes visible. Enemy territory is real now. This is where everything changes. Because once they land, the silence ends, and the war begins. Collision explosions, ambushes, and global missions. As the Expendables hit the ground, the story transforms from quiet infiltration into full destruction. The enemy isn't sleeping. They are waiting. The squad is attacked from the shadows. Gunfire explodes through the night. Explosions shake the mountains. The team is forced into brutal close-quarter combat as enemy mercenaries swarm from every direction. Christmas goes savage, knives, pistols, pure fury. Barney becomes the general of war, commanding, controlling, surviving. And Ronaldo moves like a weapon, fast, deadly, precise, turning moments of near death into victory through pure athletic brutality. The The missions grow bigger and more intense. The Expendables travel across the world, chasing the enemy's plan from one battlefield to another. Massive convoy attacks, high-speed vehicle chases, violent shootouts inside enemy strongholds, explosive raids, battles against entire armies. This isn't just action, this is war. And as the missions continue, the squad discovers something terrifying. The enemy knows them. The enemy anticipated them. The enemy has a trap designed for them. Drop of blood, loyalty, betrayal, and the final ride. But the story isn't only about bullets and explosions. It's about loyalty. Because in this war, the greatest danger isn't always outside. Sometimes it's inside. Old enemies return. Allies become suspicious. Secrets rise. The team begins to question who they can trust. And as the threat grows closer to its final stage, Barney realizes something painful. This could be their last mission. This isn't just another Expendables movie. This is a final ride. A last battle. A war that may end with sacrifices. But the Expendables aren't the type to run. They don't retreat. They don't surrender. If the world is going to burn, they'll burn with it while taking the villains to hell. And as the story pushes toward its final climax, the mission becomes one ultimate showdown. A new kind of war has been born. A war without rules, without honor, and without mercy. Governments don't control the streets anymore. Criminal empires own entire cities. Secret organizations move weapons across borders as if borders don't even exist. And terror groups now have technology powerful enough to bring down nations overnight. The line between soldier and survivor has faded, and the world is slowly falling into chaos. In this darkness, a new threat rises, one so powerful that no one country can stop it. It is not just a gang. It is not just an army. It is a global shadow organization built from elite mercenaries, assassins, warlords, and ruthless villains. They do not want money. They do not want peace. They want control. They want to destabilize the world, destroy international power, and rebuild global order in their own image. Their operations spread like disease, destroying military bases, hijacking weapon shipments, wiping out special forces units, and leaving governments helpless. Every mission sent against them fails. Every elite squad gets erased. And as the world begins to panic, one truth becomes painfully clear. Normal soldiers can't stop them. Normal rules can't stop them. Normal people can't stop them. So when the world reaches the edge of total collapse, there's only one team you call. A team that doesn't follow orders. A team that doesn't ask questions. A team made for impossible wars. The Expendables. Fire. Barney Ross returns. Barney Ross returns again. Older now, heavier with scars and filled with memories of war. He is no longer the young fighter he once was, but age has not weakened him. It has sharpened him. Because Barney is not just a soldier anymore. He is a war legend. A man who has survived everything: betrayal, blood, fire, death, and destruction. He tried to escape the battlefield. He tried to leave war behind. But war never leaves him behind. When this new global enemy rises, Barney knows something. This threat is bigger than the last missions. This threat is stronger than any past enemy. This threat could destroy everything. So Barney makes the hardest decision of his life. He must reunite the old crew. Crossed swords, the Expendables come back together. One by one, the legends return. Old warriors, deadly soldiers, professional killers trained to survive the worst situations. They gather again in the shadows, in secret locations, underground bases, and hidden hideouts. But Barney realizes the world has changed. The enemies are now faster, smarter, and more dangerous. This war is no longer classic mercenary war. This war requires new blood, new energy, new power. And that's when the story introduces the biggest surprise. Cristiano Ronaldo joins the mission. But he is not entering as a celebrity. In the story, Ronaldo enters as a trained elite operative, a fighter with precision skills, deadly reflexes, and unstoppable stamina. He is the kind of man built for modern warfare, fast, sharp, tactical, and relentless. At first, Barney doesn't trust him, because Barney's world is simple. Either you are built for war, or war destroys you. But Ronaldo proves quickly that he isn't here for jokes. He's here to fight, and he's ready to go through hell. Bomb. The preparation, the garage scene. Before the team steps into the battlefield, there is always one important moment: preparation. This is where legends become lethal. The scene shifts to a hidden underground base, a garage and armory combined. The air smells like steel, oil, gunpowder, and burnt smoke. The walls are lined with tools, guns, tactical equipment, crates of explosives, and mission supplies. And there, in the center of the room, Barney stands beside something covered in a thick cloth. He looks calm, but his eyes reveal the truth. He knows what's coming. He reaches out slowly and grabs the cover, and in one smooth motion he pulls it away. The cloth slides off the vehicle like a curtain revealing a monster. A heavy mission car is revealed, armored, modified, and built like a predator. The engine looks upgraded, reinforced, ready to smash through hell itself. Because in this story, the Expendables don't drive cars. They drive weapons. The car represents the mission itself. The final ride. The war that will decide everything. It is not only a moment of preparation. It is a warning. The chase is coming. The explosions are coming. The destruction is coming. And once the Expendables leave this garage, there will be no turning back. Airplane. The mission begins in the sky. The story jumps forward into the real operation. The Expendables have located the enemy stronghold, a heavily fortified base hidden deep in enemy territory. It is protected by radar systems, armed patrols, watchtowers, and elite mercenaries. There is no way to enter by road. No helicopter can land without being shot down. So they choose the deadliest approach, a stealth airborne infiltration. The squad enters a military cargo aircraft at night. Inside, the lighting is green and cold. They wear tactical helmets, oxygen masks, and full combat gear. Their weapons are loaded. Their faces are serious. This isn't just another mission. This is war. The aircraft door opens. The wind roars, and the first operative jumps. The sky swallows him. He free falls through storm clouds like a bullet, diving into darkness, slicing through thick mist and violent winds. Lightning flashes in the distance. The sky looks like it wants to kill him. But he doesn't fear it, because he is trained for this, because he is built for this. Behind him, the rest of the team jumps too, disappearing into the clouds. And as they fall, the story turns into pure tension, because beneath those clouds, the enemy is waiting. Parachute, drop-in, silent landing. The team deploys parachutes in the darkness. Multiple operatives glide silently toward the target. Below, the enemy compound glows with lights, surrounded by searchlights and patrols. They land quietly near the base, moving like ghosts through the forest and shadows. Weapons raised, eyes scanning. No noise, no mistakes, because one mistake means death. Collision, the ambush, war explodes. But the enemy is smarter than expected. Before the Expendables can reach their target, they are attacked. Gunfire erupts through the darkness. Explosions shake the ground. Enemy mercenaries swarm them from all sides, and the silence disappears forever. Christmas becomes savage, knives flashing, bullets flying. Barney fights like a war general, tactical, controlled, deadly. Ronaldo moves like a machine, speed, stamina, precision, taking down enemies with unstoppable energy. Fire spreads. Buildings explode. The compound becomes chaos. And now the mission evolves from stealth to full war. Globe showing Europe, Africa, global missions and total chaos. The story expands beyond one battlefield. This is not just one mission. It is multiple global missions. The Expendables chase the enemy across countries and war zones. They raid weapon shipments. They destroy enemy convoys. They fight assassins in cities. They battle armies in open land. There are white heavy checkmark brutal close combat fights. White heavy checkmark non-stop gunfire. White heavy checkmark towering explosions. White heavy checkmark insane stunts. White heavy checkmark high-speed vehicle chases. The mission car from the garage scene finally appears again, smashing through enemy lines, outrunning explosions, escaping helicopters, drifting through war zones. Because the Expendables don't just fight, they destroy. And the deeper they go into the enemy's world, the more terrifying the truth becomes. The enemy knows them. The enemy studied them. The enemy set traps. Drop of blood, loyalty, and final ride. As the war grows bigger, so does the danger inside the team. Old enemies return. Betrayal rises. Trust is tested. Because in war, you don't always die by bullets. Sometimes you die by betrayal. Barney realizes something painful. This might be their last mission, their last ride together. But legends don't run from death. They face it. So the story builds to one final showdown. One crew. One mission. Total destruction. And as the story ends, one question remains. Fire, who is the deadliest expendable?
Yeah.